Hello and welcome to the news from Bahrain International. I am Mohammed Yusuf. The Minister of Education and Chairman of the Board of Trustees of the Higher Education Council, Dr. Mohammed Mbarak Jum'a, visited Vital, Bahrain in the presence of the Minister of Tourism and Chairperson of the Board of Directors of the Bahrain Tourism and Exhibitions Authority, Fatma Sayrafi. The Education Minister praised the role of Vital Bahrain in training and qualifying national cadres in accordance with the highest international standards. He stressed the importance of focusing on increasing tourism awareness among school and university students. The Tourism Minister affirmed that the education and higher education sector is a key partner in the efforts of the Ministry of Tourism to qualify national cadres. She noted the role played by the Ministry of Education in raising tourism awareness among students. The Director General of Vital Bahrain, Sheikh Khalid bin Khalifa Al Khalifa, delivered a detailed presentation on the plans and programs of the college and highlighted the agreements with several educational institutions. Under the patronage of the Minister of Social Development, Hussam Al-Asfour, the launching ceremony of the implementation plan of the National Strategy for People with Special Needs for the years 2023 to 2027 was held in the presence of a number of officials. More on this report.
Specialized and comprehensive initiatives launched within the implementation plan of the National Strategy for People with Special Needs aspire to create a Bahraini society based on the principle of inclusion, in which citizens with special needs can exercise their rights in a fair and equal manner. This executive plan embodies the most important forms of community partnership and cooperation between various sectors in order to achieve the desired goals of this plan, which primarily serves people with special needs. The Kingdom of Bahrain is characterized by a pioneering experience in the field of integrated social policies, and this is evident through the implementation plan of the strategy, which was launched in accordance with the vision of the government of the Kingdom of Bahrain to work on building a Bahraini society based on cohesion and partnership in order to achieve a distinguished regional and global position for the Kingdom in this field.
Bahrain's high-level delegation participated in the opening of the UN High-Level Political Forum 2023 under the theme Accelerating the Recovery from the Coronavirus Disease and the Full Implementation of the 2030 Agenda. The delegation included the Minister of Housing and Urban Planning, Amna Ramehi, the Minister of Sustainable Development, Noor Al-Khleif, the Undersecretary for Political Affairs at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Sheikh Dr. Abdullah bin Ahmed Al Khalifa, and the Deputy Chief Executive of Electronic Transformation at the Information and E-Government Authority, Dr. Zakaria Al-Khaja, as well as Bahrain's permanent representative to the UN Ambassador Jamal Al-Rawai'i, and a number of officials. The delegation is participating to present Bahrain's second voluntary national review on the progress made in achieving sustainable development goals. The Minister of Sustainable Development, Noor Al-Khleif, delivered the Kingdom of Bahrain speech at the High-Level Political Forum on Sustainable Development. She affirmed that the Kingdom of Bahrain, under the leadership of His Majesty the King and the support of His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister, continues its consistent approach to consolidating the values of peace and peaceful coexistence, promoting and protecting human rights, and achieving sustainable development. She expressed her pride in the Kingdom's success in transforming challenges into opportunities and the Kingdom's distinction as a civilized and pioneering model in overcoming the repercussions of the global spread of the coronavirus. She highlighted Bahrain's success in addressing the corona pandemic, including the launch of the Economic Recovery Plan, commitment to achieve zero neutrality by 2060, integration of sustainable development goals into the government program 2023 to 2026, from recovery to sustainable growth, and promotion of digital transformation. She praised the Kingdom's support to international cooperation and partnership in expediting the achievements of the sustainable development goals. The Minister of Housing, Amna Ramehi, and the Minister of Sustainable Development, Noor Al-Khleif, met the Egyptian Minister of Planning and Economic Development, Khalid Saeed Al-Ramehi. Al-Ramehi discussed the ministry's plans to provide housing services to citizens and the programs that the ministry recently created to provide instant and sustainable housing services. She noted the development steps taken in the field of urban planning. For her part, Al-Khleif reviewed the ways to enhance cooperation between the two countries to implement the goals of sustainable development. The Minister of Housing and Urban Planning, Amna Ramehi, and Executive Vice President of Electronic Transformation at IGA, Dr. Zakaria Al-Khaja, participated in a panel discussion titled Accelerating the Achievements of Sustainable Development Goals and Climate Action Through Digital Public Infrastructure and Digital Goods, which was organized by the Ministry of Sustainable Development and Environment in Singapore. Ramehi noted the importance of providing a digital environment in modern urban societies, noting that the Bahraini government was aware of the importance of providing digital infrastructure and planning modern cities. She indicated that the plan of the ministry to implement the directives of His Majesty the King in 2013 to provide 40,000 housing units was based on providing 5 modern housing cities. For his part, Dr. Al-Khaja affirmed that Bahrain is one of the leading countries in the field of using advanced technologies, with a focus on employing these technologies to support direct services provided to citizens. On the sidelines of the UN High-Level Political Forum on Sustainable Development 2023, Bahrain and Saudi Arabia explored ways to enhance their collaboration on the acceleration of the realization of the Sustainable Development Goals and supporting the alignment of government programs and initiatives of the 2030 Agenda. The discussion took place at the joint meeting between Bahrain's delegation and the Saudi Minister of Economy and Planning, Faisal bin Fadl Ibrahim. They also discussed the most prominent innovative government practices adopted by countries to achieve sustainable development in line with the 2030 Agenda and government strategies, plans and programs. The Minister of Housing and Urban Planning, Amna Ramehi, met with the Executive Director of the UN Human Settlements Program, UN Habitat, Maimouna Sharif, at the UN headquarters. The meeting discussed housing and urban planning topics relevant to the UN Summit on Sustainable Development. The meeting also reviewed the outcomes of the UN Habitat meetings held last month in Nairobi and Bahrain's keenness on joint decisions on the sustainability of housing services for citizens. The Minister highlighted the latest developments in the Ministry's housing project to provide citizens with services in collaboration with the private sector. She noted the outcomes of the second edition of the Housing Finance Exhibition last June, which had more than 24,000 visitors. The Executive Director of UN Habitat lauded the Kingdom's efforts in providing housing services to citizens, which she saw during her recent visit to Bahrain. The second meeting between the government and the legislative authorities stressed the importance of the outputs of the joint work to restructure government support, which will consider raising the efficiency of directing support to beneficiaries to meet the needs of citizens. More on this report. To achieve the aspirations of the country and citizens, the continuous communication and constructive cooperation between the government and the legislative authority is the main basis for national action and development. This cooperation resulted in the implementation of the aspirations of government work, and several achievements and successes in all fields were made. With the aim of restructuring government support, the second meeting between the government and the legislative authority came to meet the needs of citizens in accordance with the laws and regulations in force, as well as support criteria and eligibility conditions in agreement between the legislative and executive authorities. The cooperation between the legislative and executive authorities was also indicated in exchanging information, discussing points of views, and answering questions and inquiries submitted by the legislative authority, as the details of government support will be thoroughly researched to ensure its sustainability, as well as contributing to building the society as a whole. The Ministry of Finance and National Economy published the quarterly economic report of the Kingdom of Bahrain for the first quarter of this year. More on this report. The quarterly economic report of the Kingdom of Bahrain for the first quarter of 2023 sheds light on the Kingdom's economic performance, leading to the goals set to achieve economic recovery. The report showed a growth of 2% on an annual basis, supported by the growth of the non-oil sector by 3.5% and the average quarterly growth on an annual basis of the non-oil GDP of about 5.7%. The non-oil economic sectors witnessed positive growth, with the transportation and telecommunications sector achieving the highest growth of 11.2%, supporting by the growth of 5.3% of real estate activities and business services sector. Bahrain has made progress in terms of global competitiveness indicators by ranking 34th globally in the 2023 Logistics Performance Index issued by the World Bank. The kingdom also ranked among the best 10 incubating environments for startups in the Middle East and North Africa, in addition to many other global indicators. The Kingdom of Bahrain is capable of achieving financial sustainability and economic stability thanks to the great efforts made by the government, headed by His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister, Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa. Bahrain continues its unremitting efforts to support national food production and implementation of the directives of His Majesty the King, and under the supervision and continuous support of the government led by His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister. The Ministry of Municipalities Affairs and Agriculture implemented many strategic initiatives to support and promote the fish farming sector in the kingdom. Fish farming projects are considered a promising industry that will contribute to raising the production capacity of fish food in the kingdom, which has been greatly appreciated by citizens and residents of the Kingdom of Bahrain. The King Hamad Global Center for Peaceful Coexistence celebrated the Islamic New Year 1445 Hijri in an event attended by representatives of different sections of the society. The Board of Trustees Chairman of the Center, Sheikh Khalifa bin Abdullah bin Khalifa Al Khalifa, congratulated His Majesty the King and His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister, as well as Bahrainis and Muslims on this occasion. The Chairman emphasized that His Majesty's vision for establishing the center and consolidating the foundations of coexistence and peace in Bahrain is a reflection of the Bahraini society's ability to communicate and coexist with each other and promote peace. Under the patronage of the representative of His Majesty the King for Humanitarian Work and Youth Affairs, His Highness Sheikh Nasser bin Hamad Al Khalifa, the Royal Humanitarian Foundation launched the summer camp. During his visit to the summer camp, the Secretary General of the RHF, Dr. Mustafa Sayyid, affirmed His Highness Sheikh Nasser's interest in providing programs and activities that would provide a suitable environment for all family members. It provides them with many skills to refine their personality and to use their free time for beneficial activities. Dr. Sayyid noted the Foundation's keenness to take advantage of holidays and social seasons to develop the personalities of its members. During the visit, Dr. Sayyid was briefed on the activities held in the summer camp and the programs it includes, which aim to refine the skills and values of the participants. Startup Bahrain held the fourth round of the Startup Bahrain Tour Series, organized in cooperation with the Ministry of Industry and Commerce, Tamkeen, the Economic Development Board, and the Bahrain Development Bank. During the event, 5 local startups presented their work and ideas to a panel of local and regional judges. The event was an opportunity for startups to network with potential investors and gain exposure in innovative solutions.